Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Collective podcast, where we tell it like it is, and it is like we tell it. As always, I'm your host, Dickie, and I'm excited about this week's episode. This week's episode is very simple. It's titled, Create Enough Opportunities to Afford Failure. Now, I'm going to say that again. Create enough opportunities to afford failure. You know, in all of the episodes, the goal here is to deliver value, some insight as to, the different things you're going to experience during this entrepreneurial journey of yours, as well as to add insight into the different stages of it and provide tips, strategies, and techniques along the way. Well, today's a technique day, okay? Today, I'm going to give you a golden strategy that has absolutely changed the game for myself and in my business, and it will do the same for yours. And it's right there in the title, all right? If you're going to be successful and if you're going to be able to operate under all of the laws that are found inside of the Entrepreneurial Collective's inner circle, you must understand the fact that you must create enough opportunities to afford failure. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about posture, okay? In your business, you know the value you have to the marketplace. The challenge is the marketplace doesn't fully understand the value that it is you have to offer. And so what is the goal? The goal is not so much selling your product, service, thought, idea, or concept, but more so being afforded the opportunities to inform the market about it. I mean, if you didn't believe in what it is you had to offer, you wouldn't be here to begin with. So I'm sure you've passed that test, whether it's yourself, whether testing with friends, family members, whether in, current businesses you're in, you've tested what it is you have, that thought, that idea, that concept, that value to the market. You have enough proof that has given you the confidence to move forward on this journey. So that's not the challenge. I'm sure many of you, when you have the opportunity to sit down and patiently explain to the market what it is you have to offer, I'm sure you're very successful and you don't have many problems closing people on doing business with you. In the event you do and are experiencing those challenges, again, I want to give you all the confidence in the world. Once you understand the laws of success, the laws of effectively influencing other human beings, the laws of negotiating, the laws of closing, this stuff becomes easy. But when I say you want to create enough opportunities to afford failure, what this is about is creating the proper selling posture, okay? I want to remind you, very important law. Human beings want what they can't have, okay? So when you understand that fact, you're going to realize that the more you're able to position yourself as something that everybody wants and you need to get in line to get it, the more you're going to have people wanting to get in line to get what it is you have. So the secret to being able to create a real effective posture that makes you desirable to the market so that they pursue you and you're not chasing them, like a puppy dog with its tongue hanging out, because that's never been a good look. Well, the sooner you get that moving for you, the sooner you're going to start selling many more of your products, your services, your thoughts, your ideas, and your concepts. Once you start to get that production working for you, then supply and demand comes into your favor. And once you have supply and demand into your favor, now there's so much demand coming from the marketplace that you get to tweak everything, meaning you get to dial back the amount of time required to deliver what it is you're delivering by ratcheting up the price of what it is you have to offer. Because again, when the market is demanding what it is you have and you can only produce so much of it, the way you're going to offset that is the prices are going to go up, the market's going to pay, and you're going to find yourself making a lot more money, becoming a lot more profitable, and most importantly, finding a lot more time. So to discuss this, I want to give you a bit of an example, and I'm going to use myself, okay? So my business, I've got a number of rods in the water, if you will. I've got a number of revenue streams with what it is I do. I'm a sales trainer and I develop the selling acumen with sales representatives across all industries. It started and primarily existed inside of the automotive space, but now today it evolves in all industries because again, sales is sales is sales. The only thing that changes is X and X equals the product. So I teach all industries, mortgage, real estate agents, insurance agents, entrepreneurs as a whole, people like you. And so while that's one aspect of my business, I also have a speaking business. There's a lot of speaking engagements I am paid to perform at, public speaking, different selling events, different events where I'm here to deliver certain speeches and certain messages based on whoever's acquiring me for that event. So I have the speaking business. Now, let me use the training end of my business, if you will, for example. When I say you must create enough opportunities to afford failure, this is exactly what I mean. What you need to understand is not everybody is going to have an immediate need for what it is you have to offer. Okay, as an example, when I'm working with sales representatives in the automotive space and I'm teaching them how to effectively market themselves out to the world, to the marketplace, one of the number one rules I tell them never to break is you do not post things on your social media like, come buy this car, it's $21,999, get it now, it just arrived on the lot, because nobody cares. The only person who cares about a message like that is the person who has a big desire for that particular car and wrote off the vehicle they're currently driving today. My point is somebody who is in an immediate state of need is going to respond to a message like that. Well, you want to take that into consideration when you're talking about what it is you represent. You know, if I, for example, have the ability to train and develop your sales teams to levels of production they haven't even thought of yet, and that's exactly what it is I do. Well, if I come to your organization and you guys have just broken records, all right, your sales team is number one on planet Earth, and everybody is looking at you as the model on how to successfully hit targets, my message about developing you is not going to be heard as loud as the bipolar opposite, the company that is about to go bankrupt, that is about to lose their entire business due to the lack of ability to sell their products, services, thoughts, ideas, or concepts. This does not mean I do not have value for that first client I described, you know, the one who seems perfect and flawless. What it means is every single marketing opportunity that I have is a good one. It's a good one for my business, and it's a good one to allow me to establish a confident posture in the marketplace. Hey, listen, Bob, you guys are number one on planet Earth. That is super fantastic. It's amazing. I really believe man sharpens man and steel sharpens steel. So simply being able to talk with you today has been not only a blessing for myself, but for my business. Thanks for taking the time. This is a type of an attitude, I'm stuttering there. This is a type of an attitude that I can have towards an interaction with somebody who's in that situation, perhaps a lead I was reaching out to, perhaps somebody that I was in the right moment, the right timing to have a conversation about what it is I do. And I found out that they're really thriving in that space and they may not need somebody like me right away. You see, it's important to understand this too shall pass. The customer today that doesn't require what it is you have to offer, tomorrow will need it and need it badly. So you don't ever want to dismiss clients or their potential value based on the immediate need. So when I say you need to create enough opportunities to afford failure, what I'm saying is you want to have massive reach out. You want to be marketing, calling, shaking hands, kissing babies, knocking on doors, touching as much of the market you can on a daily basis. What it is you want to do is understand that by having such volume behind you, you will have rods in the water. You'll have enough action going on so that if somebody does not have an immediate need for you, that is okay because you are taking so much action, the odds are in your favor. Not everybody's crushing, and there's going to be more people who need what it is you have to offer than not. So every single day you move forward and you create enough opportunities to afford failure. You see, when I knock on the door of the person whose company is crushing and has no need to be trained and developed in the manner in which I can develop them, that's okay. You know, they may not need me right there, but I don't have instant gratification disease, and neither should you. I don't judge my days by, did I talk to somebody and close? I judge my days by the seeds I sow, not by what I reap. Every single contact is of value to me. Why? Because again, I understand that this is a long-term play. And while everybody might be in a perfect situation today, tomorrow they may not necessarily be in that same situation. So when I use the example of the automotive sales representative, I teach them how to market and deliver messages that are of value to their marketplace so that they're not a nuisance and so that even if somebody doesn't have a need for a vehicle, they're still receiving and retaining some type of value from whatever message it is they decided to put out towards the market. By doing that, they are now taking action. There's going to be customers that are walking through the dealership doors. There's going to be customers that will be on social media on a daily basis that they can put a message in front of. There's going to be customers every single day whose doors they'll be able to knock on, so on and so forth. What you want to focus on is that you're creating enough opportunities so that even if somebody doesn't require your service, your product, doesn't have a need for what it is you have to offer on that given day, it's okay. And you can afford to just maintain a very cool, confident posture and say, hey, it was great talking to another like-minded professional, and then move on to the next opportunity. Now, here is how it all works for you. You see, I'll use the automotive example again, and then I'll use an example about myself. But in the automotive example, as a sales representative, you're judging your days by the seeds you sow, not by what you reap. So what you want to do is have a game plan on a daily basis where it's a volume play. You are making sure you're having conversations and you're getting in front of other human beings. This is where all the value lies, okay? By doing so, you're going to create a list of names, email addresses, and phone numbers that you are contacting on a daily basis. The key here, and I'll save this for another episode, is you want to have a game plan on how you're going to follow up with them, how you're going to remarket to them. And that is, again, something perhaps we can cover on another episode, and we cover in depth inside the Entrepreneurial Collective's inner circle. But back to the point I'm making. When you are taking this type of approach and this much volume on a daily basis, you're creating enough opportunities to afford failure while also creating enough opportunities that the numbers are simply in your favor. You are going to stumble upon opportunities where people will need what it is you have to offer. Now, the automotive sales representative, for example, might decide to put a message out on social media. Maybe it's something like, hey, everybody, it's Alan here from ABC Motors. I just wanted to let you know that the lowest gas prices in town are on the corner of 1st and 2nd Street at the gas station right there at the corner of 1st and 2nd Street. They're about 3 cents a gallon or a liter less than anybody else in the area. So you want to head on over there right away, save yourself some money by paying attention to these gas price tips I give on a daily basis. You could save yourself upwards of $100 over the course of the year in fuel. Just enough money to take that special somebody out to dinner. I know what you're thinking. You're welcome. Remember, when you're in the market, go see Alan. Make it a great day. There's a good marketing message. It's a message that's been delivered with value. And on something like social media, I've got the potential power base there that I could be reaching tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people. So this is good. Now, by doing this, somebody who may not have a need whatsoever for an automobile when they left their house that day, right? Or on any given day, they might get into an accident right off their car. All of a sudden, something in their world has changed and now they need to react. And let's be honest here, folks, human beings are reactive in nature. It's very seldom that you see human beings operating the way we do in the collective and are actively, proactively anticipating their life. You see, when you proactively anticipate what's to come, you'll understand what I've mentioned here is that this too shall pass. The person in a perfect scenario is soon going to find themselves in an imperfect scenario. And when they are in an imperfect scenario, they're going to be scrambling for whatever solution they can get to get out of that scenario. The fat guy's always going to be looking for a diet pill. The broke guy's always going to be looking to make a quick buck. And the business that ain't selling anymore are going to be looking to start selling more. Do you understand where I'm going here, folks? Okay, so that's just the tip. Now, when I go back to my example, I create enough opportunities to afford failure. I'm constantly taking action on a daily basis, and I'm constantly sowing seed. Now, many of you see me out on social media, out online, and I'm putting content out like this. And what is this content? This content is of value, right? I'm giving you some tips on how to school the game right now. Now, watch how this works. Today, or let's even use that company that I had made up that was crushing life, top sales team on planet Earth, right? They may not have a need for me, but maybe they lose some sales team members. Maybe something has shifted in the marketplace and all of a sudden they're not number one anymore. Now they're number 11 and they've got corporate calling them saying, hey, what's going on down there? Why are you guys suffering? My point is urgency has showed up. Something has changed in the marketplace and there is a need there. Well, you remember this approach I've been talking about? You must create enough opportunities to afford failure. Well, yesterday I was able to afford failure, meaning I wasn't successfully closing business with this company I'm describing right then and there. But because of my consistency out in the marketplace and because I'm taking so much action and because I understand that this too shall pass, the perfect will become imperfect and the imperfect will have a season of perfect. Well, now I'm in a position where through that regular maintenance and follow-up, their need has shown up. In short, folks, their house is on fire, and those buckets of water I was selling when they didn't need them a few months ago, they need them now. They need them frantically, and they're blowing up my number, and they don't care what they cost. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You see, folks, when you create enough opportunities to afford failure, you afford yourself the ability to have a very, very, very confident and certain posture out in the market. And if people want what they can't have, I would also make the argument that businesses, they want to deal with somebody who doesn't need them and who operates under such a confidence that it becomes attractive and has those companies wanting them. Think about this. I'm talking to you guys right now, dropping these gems on how you can be successful today, whether it's your first day in your business or whether you've had a successful business, the market has shifted and changed, and you need to understand what laws to abide by to adapt and get back on top. Right now, the value that I'm giving you through this podcast episode is enough that when you are in that situation where you need and want to go to that next level, when you want to understand how to dial in your sales processes so you can start saying less, closing more, and making more money, that's where you're going to reach out to me. That's where you're going to say, Al, how can you help me? What's inside this entrepreneurial collective? Can you help specifically apply these laws to my business and build out a sales approach for me that I can follow up with, become a slave to, so I can guarantee my success? And the answer is yes. Why do you think I've created this, right? Well, I want you to start thinking about your business. What is it that you sell? What is it that you have to offer? Because I want you to understand the world does see value in what it is you have, right? Anybody whose house is on fire sees value in buckets of water to put the fire out, right? The problem is if you're just going to the marketplace saying, hey, I've got buckets of water, and the buckets of water represent whatever product, service, thought, idea, or concept you are bringing to the market. Well, if their house isn't on fire, they don't have a need for it. And instead of being a confident individual who they will remember and seek out in the future when the need arises, you come off as somebody desperate, not confident, and then all of a sudden, you're like the guy who gets the girl's phone number and starts calling her an hour later. You become incredibly unattractive and the girl's no longer interested. The girl in this case is the market, and you're that guy. Wow. Hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I like to use different analogies to share what it is I'm trying to convey. Love my coffee. So with that being said, I want you to start and take some notes here. I want you to think about what is the product, service, thought, idea, or concept you represent? What value are you looking to bring to the marketplace? All right? Because this is the secret right here. When you are taking such massive amounts of actions, right? Then the numbers will take care of themselves. You will be able to close and create enough business to keep fighting another day. And many of you who are just starting out on your entrepreneurial venture, this is the position you're in. That's cool. What I want you to focus on here is judging your days by the seeds you sow and not by what you reap. By taking all of this action and maintaining a confident posture, let me tell you something. Whether you're buying something from me or not, this doesn't change. I'm still Alan Dickie, the man, the myth, the legend. Touch me, I'm real, and I'll be here ready to serve you when that need arises. Yeah, I talk like this. I think this way to myself because, again, this is the confident, certain state of mind I need to be in and I need to represent in order to effectively influence you, the market, into understanding this is what it is over here so you feel the same, so that when your need shows up, you know that I'm that guy. I'm the one who's going to solve your challenge and overcome it that quickly. Well, you want to have that posture working for you as well. Okay, so if you're the automotive sales representative on a daily basis, you want to make those 50 phone calls. You want to have that message that you're going to deliver to the market, to the people you're calling, that has value, that exceeds the time it's going to take for them to listen to you, so they want to stay on the phone. You're going to take advantage of the opportunities that you're able to create out of those phone calls in the immediate, in that moment, but you're also going to want to have a game plan on how you're going to follow up with them. Why? To remain top of mind, right? The guy who's given the tips on where the cheapest gas in the marketplace is delivering value, not trying to sell anything. So therefore, it's of value, and you will want to watch and listen to that person again. When that need shows up and you write off your car, the first person you're going to think of is that guy. Me and my business, I said to you early on, as I have gone on this big explanation, I would give you an example of my business. My business is the exact same. I talk to, let's look at the automotive space, for example. I talk to automotive dealers all the time. All the time. I've got clients, and in fact, I've got a client that literally, as I'm talking to you, 72 hours ago, just put it together another extremely strong six-figure piece of business with them. This piece of business was not something that I brought up or I pitched. No. This particular client has been a client of mine, over a decade now, and I just constantly deliver value to the client. Even when there's no revenue or immediate money being generated or earned, from this client, this does not mean I alienate them. I'm still in touch with them all the time. Whenever I've got any type of value to pass on, to deliver, I'm there delivering it. And to be honest, I actually operated by one of our laws to create this opportunity here. We were at the new year. I'm very grateful for the business that this client has provided to me. And man, I love them. They're just amazing people. And so I said to them, hey, it's the turn of the new year. The sales team, I've virtually built 85% of it. I said, why don't I come by and breathe a good word into the team for a few hours and deliver some value to you. I just really appreciate everything you've done. Well, they were blown away saying, wow, I know you're a busy guy and you're not cheap. The fact that you're willing to come and do this for free, what do we owe you? I said, you don't owe me anything. I just love you guys. I think you're great and I want to help out. Remember, giving induces reciprocation. There's a law. Write that one down. Well, I went and did this, and at the conclusion of delivering all of this value to the client, I ended up having a conversation with the owner. I continue to explain to them, this is really simple. Winning in life is not difficult, and repetition is a strength builder. The more you do something, the better you become at it. And then I asked him, I said, how much more profitable do you think you would be on a monthly basis if you had, repetition taking place in your store on a daily basis? You're on a consistent basis, even for that matter, weekly basis. And we both agreed, yeah. And then I suggested on the spot, I go, we could create something, and I labeled it. I called it Operation Repetition. We could create this. I know you're busy. I know everybody in your team is high functioning, getting their job done, and there's nobody who necessarily has these blocks of time once a week to come in and just drill technique. What if I was to do that for you? This is what it would look like. And wouldn't you agree this would be but a fraction of the revenue that this exercise would bring in when you're thinking about 20 sales representatives across the company? He looked at me as to say, that was the easiest decision I've ever had to make. I'm in. What does it look like? Literally, the next day I put together a schedule. I said, this is something we could do, and this is exactly what I could cover, and this is what we could implement, and I believe we could go from here to here, which would equate to X amount of dollars, X amount of revenue, and the investment to have me in would be a fraction of that. Does this make sense? Literally, the client said to me, that makes complete sense. Push the button. That's how easy it was. Now, if I was constantly calling this client saying, hey, I got something new. Do you want to buy something from me? Do you want to do business with me again? It would almost give a negative perception. It would be like, listen, man, I know you're the guy. I mean, that's why we've done business with you for so long. But why are you constantly coming at me? Is there not enough going on in your world? Is there not enough business looking for you? And if not, why is the business not looking for you? Do you understand where I'm going, folks? That whole posture of confidence and certainty turns into puppy dog, scared dog kind of look, and nobody's attracted to this. So what I do is I understand that I need to be of value to the market. I need to create enough opportunities where I can be valuable, right? So that when they don't need or want to do business with me in that moment, their house isn't on fire and they don't need the water that I have for sale, that I can stay cool and maintain an amazing relationship. This, folks, has been the secret of my success from day one of becoming an entrepreneur. Nobody needs to know or understand the volume that is involved with the actions you take every day. Nobody needs to know that you're talking to 100, 1,000, 10,000 people a day. No. All that you need to do is take enough action to afford to fight another day, another week, another month, another year. And while you keep your head down and continue to bombard the market with value, one by one, the people in the market whose houses are on fire, who need the water that it is you sell, your product, your service, your thought, your idea, your concept, they will constantly start to pop up. And when they pop up, they'll reach out to you. And when they reach out to you, you are in a good position, good posture, right? You are now answering questions instead of asking them. When you are in that mode, you are solving problems. And when you do that with certainty, people are going to follow your suggestions. They're going to hire you and they're going to do business with you. Folks, it is really simple to win out here, and I want to really double down, triple down, quadruple down on this message. The secret to your success is you must create enough opportunities to afford failure. Okay? When you're planning to take the opportunities, you're not taking them. When you're getting your business cards printed to take the opportunities, you're not taking them. When you're thinking about what approaches you're going to utilize to create this type of action, you're not taking any action. You're only doing it when you're doing it. Okay? That's why I want to make it abundantly clear. You can have a quick moment. You can determine on the weekend, this is my approach for the week. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this many phone calls. I'm going to produce this much content on social media. I'm going to knock on this many doors. I'm going to see this many potential clients. And you can add all that up to make sure that that number is massive. So much so that you know by taking that amount of action, you are creating enough opportunities to afford failure. And here's what I can tell you is going to happen. You're going to take all those actions. While you're taking them, repetition becomes a strength builder. The more you're taking them, the better you're going to get at producing leads and opportunities, having unforeseen conversations on the spot when they happen, reacting in the moment, right? These are twitch muscles, folks. When people are having conversations with you, you have no idea when they're going to be like, hey, listen, I'm experiencing this particular challenge. Do you have anything for that? Are you ready to respond to that? Hey, Al, I'm having this particular challenge. Our receptionist isn't answering the phone quite well. Do you have anything for that? Absolutely. Nobody will pay you for a first impression, but you'll never get paid unless you make one, pal. So I tell you, what we need to do is sit down with your receptionist, understand exactly how that greeting is going to start, and then prepare her for the 3 to 5 questions 99% of the market have when they call into the dealership. I can have a whole game plan laid out for you. We can go over it in about 48 hours time, and then we can decide what day we want to start. I just made that up. And you want to know why I just made that up? Because I can. And do you want to know why I can? Because I've been doing this forever, it seems. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to start taking this massive amount of action, because on top of it being the answer to all of your financial concerns, an answer to all of your production concerns, right? It's going to develop your abilities on exactly what it is you're pitching to the marketplace. It's going to increase your confidence and your certainty in what it is you are saying to the marketplace. And along the way, you are going to create so much action and so many opportunities that you will be able to afford the failure of when people don't need to take advantage of them. And while all that's happening, you're going to watch a tide shift. It's like a teeter-totter. You're going to go from taking all kinds of action for minimal opportunity to taking next to no action and not being able to handle all of the opportunity. Take my word for it. When you get the thing going from here to here, supply and demand shows up, and you start making a heck of a lot more than what you currently are for what it is you have to offer. Folks, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. This is a gem right here. You want to watch this episode again 3, 5, or 50 times to fully understand what it is I'm saying. I want to tell all of you, inside the Entrepreneurial Collective Inner Circle, I have created a program that is going to show you cradle to grave how to revolutionize your life, your business, and your bank account. All right, as long as you can rub your belly and pat your head at the same time, it is at your fingertips. The question is, are you that person? Everybody wants to go to heaven. Nobody wants to die. Everybody speaks about it. Very few be about it. Those of us inside here, inside this collective, inside this inner circle, we're the ones that do the thing, right? We don't talk about it. We don't plan for it. We're doing it. And that's why life is so good and we're experiencing all the wins we are. Folks, that is our episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And listen, if you have other challenges that you're currently experiencing that we haven't addressed on the podcast, don't be shy. Get inside the comments and let us know. I have no problem visiting some of those topics that perhaps you would see some value in. However, let's not forget, for today, for this episode, go and get the tattoo and put it on your chest if need be, all right? I must create enough opportunities to afford failure. Behind that law and principle is all of the success you have ever fathomed. And again, as described in this episode, there's a lot of intrinsic values tied to that go far beyond the instant gratification of closing a few deals. Ladies and gentlemen, that's me, Alan Dickie. This has been another episode of the Entrepreneurial Collective podcast, and I will look forward to seeing all of you on our next episode. Make it a great day.